the way I roll. Live4bikes is the way I roll. It's the way I roll. It's the way I roll.
Hello everyone, welcome to live4bikes. Today we're going to show you how to put on a basket on a beach cruiser. When purchasing the basket, you have to make sure that you are given and all the parts are included so you can put on your basket with a lot of ease. Everything that you see here on the table is what you will need to install your basket correctly. Here we have our two mounting brackets, one, the longer one that bolts on to your bottom of your axle wheel, and the smaller one here bolts onto the top of your fork. Make sure you also have two sets of nuts and bolts and two brackets to make sure that the basket is on there correctly. Tools that you're going to need for this project are a 15mm wrench, a set of Allen keys, and a 1.5 inch crescent wrench. First step in putting on your basket is loosening up your stem. Once it's loose, you're just going to take it out and place it on the side of the bike so it's out of the way for a second. Like so. Place it next to the bike. Next step is with your 1 inch crescent wrench, just loosen up the top screw on the headset, like so. Next step is this is up to you. You could either leave the washer that's there or take it off and just place the other one on there. As you can see, both of these kind of serve the same purpose. They're both circular and they have this little tooth there that goes right in the back of here, as you can see, that fits in there, that gives, or its purpose is to keep the bottom screw here from tightening up while you tighten the pressure with this nut here. But I like to remove it because I find that there's usually not enough room. Now the next choice you have is either put in the bracket facing up or facing down, as so. This kind of gives you a little bit of room to play with. This one places the basket a little bit lower and this one a little bit higher, as you can see. I like to put it this way because it puts the basket up a little bit and further away from the tire, from hitting the tire in the bottom. Next, just tighten up, just replace the bolt. Make sure you tighten it so your headset and your forks aren't loose. Next, replace or put back the stem, like so, and then just tighten. Make sure that your stem is parallel and straight with your frame and your tire before you tighten. Next step is to place the longer bracket on your axle of your tire, your wheel. First you start by using your 15mm wrench by loosening the bolts. Taking that off and just placing the bracket in between the axle and then putting that back on the wheel. Some other types of baskets may screw on to the frame using a 10mm screw. This one just bolts on right to the axle of your wheel. Some may bolt onto like screws, like you see here. And all you would do is just bolt on this bracket to that part of the frame. On this basket, this is not needed. All you're doing is putting the bracket on the middle of your axle and the wheel. And then you do the same with the opposite side, of course. In the final steps, we're going to place the basket and tie them to the brackets that we already installed. Now make sure that the reflector is out of the way, so you may need to loosen that and just get that out of the way for a second. And I like to start with the top bracket. You have to use this longer bracket that it comes with to give the screws more pressure to be able to tighten to this bracket. Then we're just going to get the screws that it comes with. Put them like so. Like this in here. And just tighten it to the basket. As you can see, the cables, if your bike has brakes on them, might get in the way. But you just have to work around them. And once it's placed on there, you have to put them in a place where they're not getting in the way, or your basket is not obstructing the cables and preventing you from stopping correctly. Next screw. Finally, we're going to use the last bracket with the little curve at the bottom. This one here goes into a section here that fits right into the curve of the longer bracket. Here, you have to measure where you want your basket to go. There's 3 holes in the basket that allows you to fit it well. We're going to use the first 2 ones because that's just where it seems to go naturally. And just place the screws. Top bracket. Now you're good to go. Now we're going to try to get these cables out of the way so they are not being stopped to work correctly. Just put them this way, and that one will be okay right there. Now you just got to tighten all the bolts and nuts on the brackets and on the wheel axle, and you're good to go. Now this basket could probably hold anywhere between 50 to 75 pounds. Nice and sturdy once you get it nice and tight. And as you can see, since we use the top, since we put the headset bracket a little bit higher, the basket fits in here pretty freely without touching the brakes or without touching the wheel.